Hey guys, Wrestling Rambles 89 back again with another reaction video. This time I'm reacting to Stone Cold and Chris Jericho talking about what made Eddie Guerrero so great. Now, Eddie Guerrero is obviously a legend in the Hall of Fame, one of my favourite pro wrestlers of all time, ridiculously entertaining both in the ring and on the microphone, so I know what I like about him, but I'm curious what Jericho and Austin have to say, so without wasting any more time, let's get started.
And I was on YouTube the other day, and I was just looking at old random videos, and it was you, and this was so many years ago because Dallas Page was still living in Playa Vista, and that's where I used to live with him when I first came out to Los Angeles, and you guys had went through a yoga workout, and y'all were talking about Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
And it was me and Eddie.
Yeah.
You had that meeting with him where you first met him and he was grouchy, but then
he was
next
drunk,
time, super nice Eddie. Anyway, and the guy was phenomenal, but I don't mean to ramble. Eddie was one of those guys that if you knew anything about wrestling, you picked up on the little things he did. If you didn't know anything about wrestling from a technicality standpoint, just from watching him, for some reason it resonated with you at a deeper level because you were seeing a guy who was so detail-oriented. The little things meant so much. I mean, it's just something is even that little thing. If the babyface, let's say babyface is laying on his back face up, and there's just that little peel out on the damn face, on the forehead.
Put his heel and crush out a cigarette butt on your
How
forehead.
many people do that? There's a couple that do it, but ain't nobody does it like Eddie.
Does it where it looks like he's putting out a cigarette butt on your forehead
with the stink on it.
Yeah, with a little stink on it.
But it's those little things that made Eddie so great.
Eddie was really, really good at that sort of stuff, and like I was thinking about this the other day, man. I missed Eddie. I wish he was still around because he was such a goofball, but like just a really good guy, obviously. But he really took everything very personally. And we talked earlier about back in the day when we were running, we were a little bit nuts. He never really went nuts. He took everything so personally. Like if the house was down like 200 people when he was the champion, he would be really legitimately sad. If he heard one person booing him when he was supposed to be a babyface. Actually, you went through that phase too. I remember we had a match in El Paso, of all places. We tore the house down, and you were pissed off after. I said, "What's wrong?" You said, "There was one guy on the front row who's giving me the finger." I'm like, "Dude, there's 10,000 people chanting your name." But at the time, that bothered you. You couldn't get over it. Eddie was like that too. So involved and so into it that anything that he felt was a slight against him and his abilities, he would take it very, very personal. And that's why I think he eventually would have gotten over it, but I don't think the first time he was a champion, they didn't keep it on him long because I don't think he could take it. It's a lot of pressure to be the champion. And I think it kind of made him go a little bit crazy because of it,
It seemed to me as little as I knew Eddie, and I knew him a little bit.
Did you ever work with him?
Yeah, I requested to work with him because I'd kind of been running hard, and I was kind of just getting caught up in. I want to work again. I don't want to rely on a gimmick, man. And Eddie was a worker. He was a worker's worker, and so I requested to work with him. And after about a week's worth of shows, they pulled us apart because they needed me to work with
whoever was on top or whatever.
Yeah, someone on top. But I requested to work with a guy, and met as many guys as we both know that have gone down. I'm not a big funeral guy. I went to Eddie's funeral.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember seeing you there.
I went there.
It surprised me because I remember you had talked about that before.
Yeah, Eddie Guerrero was definitely a special talent. As I said at the start, one of my favorites of all time. A lot of people's favorites of all time, including a lot of current wrestlers who were inspired to wrestle because of him in a way, like with Mercedes Moné or Sasha Banks as she used to be known. And Eddie Guerrero and Stone Cold, if that was like a main event feud, that would have been amazingly good. The rumor was as well that Eddie was going to have a WrestleMania match with Shawn Michaels, but then of course he sadly passed away. And that is one of those what-if legendary dream matches kind of thing. I can't even imagine how tremendously good that match would have been, and it's a damn shame we didn't get it. It's a damn shame Eddie passed when he did. But yeah, I thought that would be interesting. Jericho got along quite well with Eddie, and Stone Cold didn't know him too much, but still obviously has a good solid opinion on him. So I thought you guys would find it interesting too, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you as always for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I upload new videos every single day. This is Wrestling Rambles 89, signing off.